On November 24th, Thanksgiving, we were part of the most amazing gathering. And it was at Turtle Island in North Dakota. There was people singing, there was people chanting. And to hear people from all walks of life, it was beautiful. It was the most beautiful thing to see. It was hard not to get choked up, to see so many people praying, and to see the Morton County Police on a hill. Kind of interesting, because the day before that, a couple days before that, before I made the trip, I had this dream. I had this dream that there was all of these people hanging on a noose. And it kind of reminded me of Turtle Island. And I couldn't interpret my dream, but at that moment I was like, wow, this kind of looks like the place where I was in my dream. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see, to hear all the prayers, all the singing, and all the people joining together. And this was on the 24th of November. And so the next day we go back to a complete different scene. There's nobody there. There's 3 natives and a group of white people. And there's about 6 of them who are yelling. And we're just in shock, because when we get there, they barricaded, they put fences up around the whole island, around the water. They broke the bridge. They broke the canoes in half. And it was just a sad thing to see, it was so sad, we were just in shock. And we were kind of like, where's everybody, where are all the natives? And to see all of these other people, outsiders, there yelling at them, fuck you, go home, this is our home. Just like, fuck the police, fuck all of this. And for us, us as indigenous people and native people, it hurt. And so we were going to pray. We were going to go down to the water and pray. And there was these people that just kept badgering and kept yelling and yelling, fuck you, and all of this shit. And then one guy jumps in a canoe, another canoe, and he just starts bashing the fence. And there's the only 3 natives that were there were this woman, beautiful, powerful native woman, and a young man, a young native man. I remember them having paint on their faces. And then another older gentleman, mid, almost ready to be an elder, was telling them to stop. They needed to calm down. This is about prayer. We're not here. And they just kept going and going and going. And, I had it. I finally got in their faces and told them to be quiet. I said, you are being very disrespectful to the Standing Rock people. We do not pray in this way. Because the guy was hitting the fence. Then the police came down, pointed a gun and drawn it right on the guy. And this guy starts freaking out. Like, oh, I'm going to get shot. All of this, like just really dramatic and just like fucking just some pussy shit, He's just causing a ruckus. And excuse my language, but at the time it was just to see that and not to see anybody there. We had to stop the situation. So I told him to knock it off. I said, stop. I said, as the indigenous people, this is not how we pray. And I said, you are being very disrespectful to the Standing Rock tribe. You do not speak on their behalf. You do not go out there and you do these types of things amongst their people. You are being very disrespectful. You are making them look bad. These are all non-native people. And I said, you have to go home. You're going to go home. Us as native people have to live this life. We have to continue. Whatever reservation we come from, we still have to deal with this. We deal with this for years. Hundreds of years we've dealt with all of this drama. We've dealt with all of this pain. We've dealt with all of this hurt. And I don't know what my exact words were, but it was on the lines of something like that. And they were filming me, and I told them to stop filming, you know. I told them to understand us as indigenous people. With prayer comes a sacrifice. We've all known that. Some of us go without water. Some of us go with physical pain. And that's when sometimes our prayers are answered. They don't understand that, and they never will. For them, that right, that white privilege came in, you know, because they aren't taught these ways. And I say that, I say white privilege in a way to not be racist. I say it because they only know one set way of living. They don't understand our ways, and we need to teach them. We need them to understand that this is not how you conduct yourself. They don't understand the land. They don't understand. They think it's a big tourist attraction. And I let them know this. There was one lady that was there, and she questioned me. She said, what's indigenous? She questioned all of us, our Hopi Tewa group. What's indigenous to you? She goes, I'm Native. And I don't mean to put color into anything, but and it shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't be a color, or it shouldn't be, but how she came about it and how she presented herself didn't tell me she was Native. Because as a Native people, as indigenous people, we do not question that. We don't need to question a quantum. We don't need to question. We know in our hearts what we were raised with and how life has been. It's in our ways. It's embedded in us to be indigenous people and not to question it. But she was angry because we stopped them from doing this. We stopped them because it was very disrespectful to our people, to any Native, because we don't do that. And so I thought I would share, and I'm going to post a video of what all happened there at Turtle Island. It was very sad. Our Tewa crew, you know, said our prayers, and we did what we needed to do to be there in prayer in a peaceful way. But deep down, I know that our prayers will be answered. I just know it. I feel it. But I thought I would share. I'm going to post a complete full video of just what happened on the 24th and then the 25th. Someone needs to educate these people. There's not enough education. I wish I could go around, and I wish I could be there to educate them and have them understand that when they're walking around with their sage, that to understand that there's more meaning to it than you standing up there just brushing people off. There's more to what you're learning. There's more to what people are teaching you up there. They need to understand that they need to be more respectful, and we do need them. We do need them as allies. We do need them, but we also need to educate everyone. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share. And you know, all we can do is pray and, you know, put forth the effort as well. I always tell people with prayer takes 50% of you also to do something, and that was my way of going up there, to not just pray at home. And we can pray at home too, but you know, there's so many different ways we can help out. But yeah.